Hi, my name is Jodi. I am going to be showing you today how to walk through with your client and qualify your client. I am a IATAN card holder 2 times. I am a big travel booker. So this is how I actually qualify my clients. Take from it what you will, because everybody is different as far as how they want to qualify their clients. Okay, so let me just move some things around so I don't see everything. Okay. So the first thing I do is I have a client fill out a Google form or a Jotform. I personally use Travify. So with Travify, I can do my own form there, but I started off using a Google form. Some people say not to use the Google form. I personally like it myself. Okay, I will show you when I'm done the slideshow, my Google form. I will also give you a link so you can see it. So some questions I ask them is their full name, their phone number, email address, number of travelers, both adults and children. I have that separated because I need the ages of children at time of travel, not now, but at time of travel. Destination, dates. I ask them as far as dates, are they flexible on their dates? And if so, what is their flexibility? Some will say, I can go anywhere from mid-June to all of August. Others will say, you know, I have a few days before, a few days after. What airport they want to fly out of, what they want quoted, hotel, air, all-inclusive, villa, theme park tickets, car rental, etc. How did they hear about you? I really like to know. So you want to know, I just got my first TikTok person the other day, which was very exciting, but you want to know, was it Facebook? Was it TikTok? Was it LinkedIn? Was it a referral? If it was a referral from someone, you want to thank that person. Ask the reason for the travel. So if it's a birthday, if it is a anniversary, you know that, and what their budget is. And I know a lot of people will say, don't ask their budget. I always ask the budget. I always ask the budget. So the first thing you want to do, you want to get the client on the phone. So when I say that you can make how you qualify the client your own, you can take something from me, something from somebody else. I was not getting my clients on the phone. I was doing okay, but I wasn't getting my clients on the phone. And I watched a training of Sarah Rogers, and she got her clients on the phone. She said she always did, and I changed. And since I changed, I've lost one client because they refused to get on the phone call with me. But other than that, it builds that personal relationship. So give the client some days or times that work for you. If you use Calendly, you can set up times that they can choose from on Calendly. So what I do is after they fill out the form, and actually on my form, it says, please set up a time to speak. So it gives the Calendly link right there. If they miss that, I will reach out to them and I just send a quick email saying, would you mind setting up a time for us to speak? If none of these times work for you, please let me know what works for you. If they don't want to have a phone call, as I just said, I let them know that it's required to work with me. And I tell them the call will be brief. Okay, so I say, just give me 10 minutes of your time. To be quite honest, prior to this, I worked with a travel agent prior to me working here, and I hated getting on the phone with them. I wanted everything with email. So get the person on the phone. Prior to the call, what I do is I look over the form and I do a quick search to see if I can even get them what they want in their budget. Okay, so I'm prepared for that call. I don't do a big quote. I just do a quick search. And I might say, you know what, 6 days might not work for you, but 5 days might, or something like that. Just be prepared for that phone conversation. So here are some questions to ask on the call. You want to confirm the dates and you want to ask if there's flexibility on the dates. Even if they put the exact dates, you want to reconfirm. What is their destination? So I book a lot of island and all-inclusive vacations. If they're looking for an island, what I say is there any island you don't want? Are you okay with Mexico? Are you okay with Punta Cana, with Dominican Republic? Is there any island you are not looking for? And they'll usually tell us tell me what they don't want. I confirm how many adults, how many children, and again, I ask the ages of the children at time of travel. Even though they put all this on there, I want to reconfirm everything with them. As far as airport, I say, are you open to drive a bit further to another airport if it's cheaper? So like for me, it's Philadelphia is my airport, but I might say, would you be willing to go to Newark? Or would you be willing to go to BWI or possibly JFK? And they'll let you know. And I'd say, I only do that if I can save you money. What type of resort or hotel? So I asked them, are you looking for something more lively, a party resort? Are you looking for quiet? Is a good beach more important to you? Is a good pool more important to you? Some people will tell me, I definitely need a swim up bar. I want nightlife, things like that. You want to get an idea of what they're looking for. The distance from the airport. So you might go to Jamaica and they might only want to be 20 minutes from the airport. So you're doing Montego Bay. If you want to do Ocho Rios or you want to do Negril and it's an hour and a half to 2 hours, those resorts are not a fit for your clients. I asked the type of room and type of beds in the room. So yesterday I was doing a quote for somebody for 4 people with 2 rooms. So I said, okay, are we couples? Are we friends? How many beds? One of the rooms needs a king bed and one of the rooms needs 2 beds. So I do explain that not all resorts have guaranteed bedding. If they are very strict on their resort having guaranteed bedding, I will look at certain resorts that will guarantee a king or guarantee two beds. If not, I tell them that I request it, but it's not guaranteed. Okay. Some more questions that I asked them. What's their max budget? So as I said, what I do is a quick search. So if I can't find them what they want in their budget, would they be willing to go for less nights? I literally just sent out a quote right before this. They wanted 7 nights. I got them on the phone. I told them I cannot get them in their budget 7 nights. Would they be open to 5 or 6? They said, we really want 6. So it's a little over their budget. But what I did is I told them when I sent the quote that this is for 6 nights. If you want closer to your budget, it would have to be for 5 nights. Ask them if their passports are up to date or their driver's license, and are they valid for 6 months post-trip? So passports for out of the country. So most of my clients are out of the country. If they're in the US, you would need a driver's license. If they're out of the US, you would need a passport. And the reason I say valid for 6 months post-trip, a lot of places need it to be valid for 6 months post-travel. So even if some places like Mexico does not need to be valid for 6 months post-travel, just valid at time of entry and exit, some airlines don't know that. So they might get to the airport and they might say, you can't travel because your passport's not up to date. So I try and always make sure it is past the 6 months of their trip, or it's, valid for 6 months past their trip. Do they have a preferred airline? So for Philadelphia, Frontier is a charter flight. So my big question is, are you open to flying Frontier, or do you only want American, or Newark is United? So I just sort of asked them, do you have a preferred airline? Would you also be willing to fly this? So would you be willing to fly a budget airline if it saves you money? The next question, if I find you this quote, are you ready to book now? And I've had people say, well, no, I'm looking for in 2 months, or I'm looking the end of next week. And what I say, okay, I will get your quote then, because the pricing will change. So I will reach out to you right before then to make sure you're ready to book if I find you what you're looking for, and then I will get you a quote then. I'm not going to be, if somebody's price shopping, things like that, I'm not going to work with them. I want to make sure that they are ready to book. And then I ask them, what else do you want to tell me? What else do you want for a vacation? What's important to you? So I ask all those questions on the phone. That literally takes 10 minutes or less to talk to them on the phone. Then I manage their expectations. Okay, so prior to hanging up, I'm going to tell them my process, and I'm going to tell them my value. I'm going to say, I know you can book this yourself, but let me tell you what you get with working with me. I don't just get you the pricing, but I'm there for you every step of the way. If you have an issue with your hotel, if you have an issue with your transfer, issue with your flights canceled or delayed, I'm handling those issues for you. And a lot of times I will say, have you ever worked with a travel agent before? And then I explain the process. Okay, so I asked them to have a copy of their passports or driver's licenses. Again, driver's license only for in the US, ready in case they want to book with me. So what I tell them is, a lot of times I can hold a quote or hold a booking for possibly up to 3 days. but I would need a copy of the passports to do that. So what I suggest is get a copy of those passports, keep them handy. So when I need them, you can send them to me right away. I let them know the quote will take, it's usually 48 business hours for me. Always say business, not just hours. But you can, when I first started, I told people the quote would take 48 to 72 business hours. When I work on Europe quotes, I tell them it takes minimum 72 business hours. So as I said, sometimes a trip can be held for up to 3 days. And if so, you can hold it with a copy of their passports at no charge and no commitment. So that is why I really stress, have those passports ready. So if you do want me to hold a certain resort, certain room, certain dates, I can hold it for you if it allows. You have to check on your own if you can hold it for a day, 3 days, or possibly not at all. But what I tell them is, if I can hold it for you, there would be no charge for it to be held, no commitment. If you choose within those 3 days, you don't want to book it, no problem. So again, to book a trip, you'd have to tell them you need a copy of their passports. I would also send them a credit card authorization form. Once I have that form and the trip is booked, I tell them it can take up to 48 hours for me to send them their confirmation. So it took me time. I mean, I've been here almost 3 years to sort of figure out how long it would take me for everything, to figure out sort of like, in a way, my business plan of how I do quotes, how I do bookings. So you have to make sure what feels comfortable for you. So for me, I always tell them it's 48 actually business hours for me to send them the confirmation after it's booked. Okay, here's some ways to follow me. So basically, that is pretty much it. It's pretty quick, but you want to get as much detail as possible, and you want to build that personal connection with them. Okay, so I will go over some questions now. Okay. I will share this YouTube. It will be on YouTube and I'll share it. So Liz, the latest thing I saw was the Dominican does not, but I still tell people they do. Okay. Any questions? Liz, I believe it was on the government's website. So it was either, I think on the us.travel.gov or something like that. I saw at one point, it showed all the countries.
Travelstate.gov.
Travel.state.gov, yep. Any questions? I know it was quick, I know it was brief, but it pretty much, that's what it is. It's getting your clients on the phone, building that personal relationship. Okay. All right, if no questions, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, guys.